faithfully delivering value, interpreting great books worldwide. Hi, this is Sally Book Talk. Today, the book we're interpreting for you is The Science of State. The subtitle is How to Achieve Steady and Sustained Progress. What ways do you use to improve your performance? Welcome to share your experiences in the comments section. Whether in learning, work, exercise, or art, people strive for outstanding performance. Achieving it brings satisfaction and accomplishment, but sustaining top performance is tough. Most times, performance is average, and even individuals can't explain why. Why do we have good and bad days? What factors help only a few elites consistently excel? How to maintain peak state and outstanding performance long term? That's the core topic this book explores. The book has two authors. Brad Stolberg, a columnist for Outdoor and New York magazines, who blends science with personal stories. The other is Steve Magnus, a former coach for elite runners, Olympic advisor, and pioneer in theoretical innovation. With 9 chapters and 150,000 words, the authors interviewed leaders in business, sports, and art, combining exercise science, psychology, and neuroscience. They outlined 3 key principles for regulating body and mind to achieve and sustain peak performance. Kelly McGonigal, Stanford psychologist and author of The Willpower Instinct, calls this a must-read for performance seekers, compiling cutting-edge research on peak state. Next, I'll break down the book's main ideas based on these 3 principles. The first principle is growing through stress and rest. First, let's discuss stress. In this book, stress means the pressure from stepping out of your comfort zone and challenging limits. A broad scientific consensus holds that the most profound learning happens when challenging yourself and failing. Failure reveals where you're lacking, helps understand problem structures, and the lessons boost skills. From a neuroscience perspective, mastering a new skill involves the brain forming new neural connections. If neural connections remain weak, skill mastery becomes unstable, trapping us at our current level. To strengthen neural pathways, we must repeatedly tackle challenging tasks. Through persistence, connections strengthen, leading to mastery, though this inevitably brings stressful failures. Nick Lamb, a world-class surfer who rides 4-story waves, improves by seeking intimidating waves. He views failure as growth opportunities, not obstacles. Lamb believes growth is impossible without pushing personal limits. Research shows students gain shallow understanding when teachers intervene too quickly with difficult problems. But when teachers guide after students exhaust their reasoning, comprehension deepens. Students develop more solid mastery and profound understanding. So how do we apply optimal pressure? Through deliberate practice, focusing on challenges slightly beyond current abilities. American psychologist Anders Ericsson, who studied expertise development, originated this concept.
His research revealed expertise depends less on practice duration than method.
For instance, average and elite violinists both practice about 50 weekly hours. But elites target goals marginally beyond their skills. They maintain singular focus throughout sessions, avoiding multi-targeted practice. Essentially, top performers immerse completely in achieving one focused objective. This uncomfortable, stressful process significantly elevates skills, yet many perceive such stress as threatening, triggering anxiety.
These emotions hinder performance. Counter them by recognizing stress's benefits.
If we see stress as a beneficial challenge and motivation, it can make people perform better. A study surveyed over 200 elite and average swimmers, measuring their stress levels before competitions and asking how they perceive stress. The results showed that before competitions, both elite and average athletes experienced nervousness, anxiety, and some fear, feeling significant stress. The difference is that average athletes believe stress reduces their performance. They try to eliminate it, which distracts them and prevents full focus on the competition, leading to mediocre results and to, And on the other hand, elite athletes see stress as excitement in facing challenges, transforming it into motivation. This mindset allows them to ignore nervousness and anxiety, focus on the game, and achieve outstanding performance. Moreover, many outstanding athletes told the authors that when facing stress, they don't try to push it away, but channel it towards their current goals. As world kayaking champion Dane Jackson said, "In every moment of kayaking, fear accompanies me. I feel it and guide it to help me focus and paddle as fast as possible." Therefore, whether in deliberate practice or actual performance, we can view stress as eager excitement and motivation to perform at our best. As we can see, utilizing stress correctly leads to better performance. But there's a caveat. Stress shouldn't last too long, or it will impair performance. As a person's capacity for stress is limited, if constantly under stress, the body and mind enter fatigue and can't function properly. Over the long term, to maintain excellent performance, stress and rest need to alternate. In years of research, Erickson found that top talents in various fields can't sustain focused work for more than 2 hours. Generally, they work intensively for 60 to 90 minutes, then take a break before returning to work. Many companies analyzed employee work patterns and found that regardless of industry or position, intense work blocks with short breaks consistently lead to better performance. The most productive workers in meatpacking plants work 51 minutes per hour with 9-minute breaks. The best agricultural workers work 75 minutes with 15-minute breaks. The optimal cycle for mental workers is 50 minutes of work followed by 7 minutes of rest. While exact ratios depend on work content and personal preference, alternating intense work periods of 50 to 90 minutes with 7 to 20-minute breaks effectively reduces physical and mental fatigue, maintaining optimal well-being. Beyond fatigue reduction, there are numerous other benefits. This book primarily introduces 3 rest methods and their advantages. The first rest method is mindfulness meditation, originally from Buddhist Zen practice, meaning non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. In the 1970s, Dr. John Kabat-Zinn at MIT stripped religious elements from mindfulness, developing modern mindfulness therapy for stress reduction and pain relief. The most common practice method: find a comfortable, quiet space, sit down, take several deep breaths to calm yourself, then allow breathing to return to its natural rhythm. Next, focus your attention on physical sensations from breathing. You can observe the breath flowing near nostrils or focus on abdominal movement. As you follow breath's rhythm, if your mind wanders, gently redirect attention back to breathing. When starting, practice just minutes. With experience, extend sessions to 30 minutes or longer. Mindfulness meditation provides high-quality rest, unlike regular breaks where work thoughts persist, failing to relieve mental fatigue. Through mindfulness, we free the mind from constant thinking, achieving true rest to return to work refreshed. Another benefit: mindfulness helps people face stress more calmly, without anxiety or fear from pressure, leading to better performance. Brain research shows mindfulness meditation increases prefrontal cortex volume. The prefrontal cortex is the brain's command center and origin of rational thought. A more developed prefrontal cortex makes one less emotionally reactive, enabling calm decision-making for optimal choices. Consider a long-distance runner in deliberate practice. Pushing limits leads to exhaustion, body aches. Without mindfulness practice, emotional impulses might make him stop running. After practicing mindfulness meditation, his stress tolerance increases. Though his body still aches, he stays calm. Undisturbed by emotions, he persists in running. The second rest method is walking. Besides relaxation, walking sparks subconscious creativity. Many philosophers see walking as key to generating new ideas. American philosopher Thoreau said, "Thoughts begin to flow when I move." Research shows outdoor walking generates 60% more creative ideas than sitting in an office. Compared to other rest methods, walking has 2 advantages. First, it shifts attention just enough without overwhelming distraction. While walking, conscious thinking stops, while minds wander freely, letting the subconscious dominate. Rest, like reading or gaming, completely shifts attention, suppressing the subconscious. Second, walking outdoors connects with nature, boosting mood and well-being. This positive mood also helps unlock subconscious creativity. The third rest method is sleep, offering numerous brain and body benefits. Many studies confirm sleep strengthens memory retention. After learning, sleeping improves recall by 20 to 40% versus staying awake. Scientists believe during sleep, the brain reviews information, decides what to keep, converts short-term to long-term memory, and affects self-control. Clemson University researchers found sleep-deprived people struggle with focus, impulsivity, and poor decisions. In focus-intensive tasks, sleep-deprived individuals perform worse. Sleep's physical benefits are substantial. Top athletes worldwide prioritize it. To them, sleep is as crucial as training. Intense training causes micro tears in muscle tissue, leading to fatigue and soreness. For a minute, thus, after certain intensity, athletes must rest for body repair and training effects to manifest, especially during sleep. About an hour into sleep, testosterone and growth hormones rapidly increase and maintain high levels. Both hormones promote protein synthesis, repairing torn muscles and making them stronger than before. A Stanford study showed swimmers significantly improved performance after increasing sleep. They reacted faster at starts, had quicker turns, and exerted more kicking power. With so many sleep benefits, how much is actually needed? Scientists recommend 7 to 9 hours nightly for most, while athletes need more, ideally 10 hours. All right, let's summarize what we've covered. The content of the first principle: to grow from stress, engage in deliberate practice, and adopt a positive mindset toward pressure. For outstanding performance, sufficient rest is crucial, offering benefits beyond fatigue relief. Mindfulness meditation cultivates greater calmness. Facing stress, walking boosts subconscious creativity. Sleep enhances memory, self-control, muscle repair, and training effectiveness. Now, the second principle for peak performance: using habits to activate it. Some with high skills have inconsistent performance, often under-delivering. Certain habits help achieve peak state to perform optimally. The book introduces 3 key habits. First, warm-ups. Top athletes prioritize them, though no universal approach exists. Find what works through experimentation. The author describes 2 common warm-up methods for reference. First method, cultivate positive emotions. Scientists confirm they enhance problem solving because brain regions controlling emotions also handle analytical decisions. In positive individuals, this area activates more, improving problem-solving abilities. In negative states, the area barely activates and problem-solving declines. So before important tasks, engage in positivity boosters activities. Studies show watching cat videos effectively sparks positivity, enhancing problem-solving performance. You could place smiley toys on your desk or watch comedy clips. The second warm-up method is doing aerobics to clear your mind. Matt Billingsley, a top American drummer, performs a routine before shows, swinging arms wide, wall leans, squats, and stretches. This loosens joints, warms muscles, and prepares him for drumming. Crucially, aerobics helps Matt enter a thought-free state. Matt told the author, overthinking causes chaos and mistakes during performances. In ideal performance state, thinking stops completely. Actions become instinctive reflexes. Without warm-ups, it takes several songs to reach this state. With warm-ups, he achieves it right from the start. The second habit for peak performance: crafting your optimal work environment. All interviewees stressed environment's importance. Athletes favor specific gyms, artists build personal studios. Horror master Stephen King said, "Most do their best work in spaces that belong to them." Psychologists note our deep connection with environments. They trigger actions automatically, like seeing a chair makes us want to sit. Snacks on a table prompt eating. These actions are largely automatic. So design environments with action-triggering items while removing distractions. In such spaces, we focus exclusively on target actions. For writers, create a dedicated study with only computers and writing materials. Install only writing software, no other apps. Use the room solely for writing. Only write in this room. Rest or other activities happen elsewhere. Over time, the writer-room bond strengthens. Simply entering the study and seeing the computer triggers automatic writing mode, boosting efficiency. The third habit, minimize decision-making. The brain's energy is finite. Any decision requiring thought, however simple, drains mental resources. Too many decisions cause exhaustion, preventing peak performance. In one experiment, participants chose consumer goods like razors, shampoo, candy, and socks. After these choices, they underwent tests measuring physical endurance, perseverance, and problem-solving ability. Results showed those who chose products before testing performed worse in every aspect compared to direct test takers. Many successful people conserve limited energy by simplifying their lives for important matters. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg famously wears identical outfits, blue jeans with gray t-shirts, except rare occasions. When asked why he dresses the same daily, he explained, "Clothing seems trivial, but accumulated trivial decisions become exhausting. I minimize decisions to focus energy on running the company." The author advises automating unimportant decisions, like meals, outfits, exercise schedules, through preset routines. Also, avoid wasting energy on gossip, office politics, or others' opinions. These activities drain mental resources. All right, summarizing principle 2. Habits activate peak performance. Warm-ups boost positivity and mental clarity for optimal states. Tailored environments trigger desired actions through conditioning. Decision minimization channels limited energy to priorities. Now, principle 3. Pursue self-transcending goals. Researchers note people unlock extraordinary abilities when focused on goals larger than themselves. Tom Boyle, an Arizona paint store manager, appears ordinary by all measures. One day, he saw an 18-year-old boy hit head-on by a car and pinned underneath. To rescue him, Boyle lifted the 1,650 kilos front end, over 3 times the deadlift world record. Deadlift is a weightlifting exercise. Similar stories aren't rare. Many unleash astonishing strength when striving for others. Medical experts believe the body typically halts functions before reaching absolute limits. And fear, fatigue, and pain warn us that continuing challenges might cause failure or injury. But sometimes we must risk surpassing limits to achieve desired outcomes. How do we accomplish this? The answer is focusing on self-transcending goals. When focused beyond ourselves, self-awareness minimizes, reducing fear of failure and increasing tolerance for fatigue and pain. In other words, less self-focus means better performance. Jennifer Farr Davis is a renowned American female hiker. In 2011, she prepared to hike the entire 3,500-kilometer Appalachian Trail. Most take 5 to 7 months. This trail, the all-time best record, was 47.5 days. Davis previously set the women's record at 57 days. In 2011, she aimed to break the men's record. Her husband, a long-distance runner, supported her goal, training with her for 3 years. On the hike's 12th day, Davis faced multiple troubles, severe calf pain and diarrhea, leaving her exhausted and emotionally drained. She told her husband she wanted to quit, but he encouraged her to persevere. He reminded her that he and their team had invested greatly in this challenge. This challenge wasn't just for her, but for others too. Davis told the author her husband's words transformed her. She realized her record attempt wasn't about self-validation, but sprang from greater conviction. She aimed to express love for nature and her husband through this challenge while experiencing the joy of using her talents. Focusing on a self-transcending goal gave Davis tremendous motivation. She felt less fatigued, more comfortable facing fears, and could better endure physical pain. Ultimately, Davis broke the men's record by finishing 26 hours earlier. Self-transcending goals not only help push limits, but also improve daily work performance. University of Pennsylvania researchers found hospital cleaners performed better and felt more satisfied when viewing their work as reducing bacterial spread to protect patients, not just maintaining hygiene. And how do we find self-transcending goals? The process involves 3 steps. First, choose your core values. Goals embody these values. To find goals, first clarify your values. Common values include creativity, helping others, courage, responsibility.
The author suggests selecting no more than 5 values to maintain focus.
Second step, identify goals that actualize these values. Determine how you can realize values through actions connected to others. For example, one of the author's values is helping others. He fulfills this through writing that helps readers develop their talents. He also values creativity, expressed by synthesizing ideas across fields, extracting common principles underlying these ideas. Third step, write a goal statement reflecting on your objectives. You'll notice some goals fulfill multiple values or align with current priorities. Select these goals and summarize them with the values they serve. This becomes your goal statement. Compile insights from top performers into a book helping people maximize talents, or become the best athlete possible to inspire others to push limits, or create moving art that connects people through shared emotions. Communicate through art, enabling rich emotional experiences.
To reinforce your statement, post it where you'll see it daily, like bathroom mirrors or desks, as constant motivation.
All right, let's summarize Principle 3. Pursuing self-transcending goals. When we stop focusing on ourselves, we reduce fear of failure and better endure fatigue and pain. Whether in daily work we're pushing limits, the less we consider ourselves, the better we perform. To find self-transcending goals, choose values, identify value-driven objectives, and craft goal statements. With this, our coverage of the science of state concludes. The author presented 3 core principles to achieve and sustain peak performance. He notes that top performers share one more trait: relentless dissatisfaction, always striving to improve. This mindset drives continuous self-transcendence and better performance. The author hopes everyone adopts this attitude when pursuing goals. After listening, what useful methods have you learned? Welcome to share your thoughts in the comment section. That concludes our interpretation of the science of state. Reading notes are below the audio. See you next time.